Welcome back to the preview show. I'm Casey Campbell. That's Jonathan Fiel. That's Mitchell Brewer. God, it feels good to say that after 2 weeks. Of course, hopefully everybody has enjoyed their 2-week break. Hopefully everyone's enjoying the Olympics. But for the next 14 weeks, NASCAR is back, and it is not stopping anytime soon because we're going 14 weeks straight until we determine a champion. For the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and the Truck Series. Cup and Xfinity are running the next 14 weeks. Trucks is running, I think only about, half of that. So going to be a big weekend of racing at Watkins Glen. First time since 2019 that NASCAR is back in the Finger Lakes region. I know my buddy Marty Zakala is really excited about that. So how was your guys' breaks? What's kind of happened? I know what's kind of happened, but have you guys, what's been the biggest storyline these past 2 weeks, in your opinion? I'll give mine after you guys get first. Go ahead, Mitchell.
I mean, the Brad news wasn't surprising, but it was surprising that we got it as soon as we did. That came out I think it was the Tuesday or Wednesday right after the break started. So it was interesting to finally get that news out in the open, and I don't think it surprised anybody, but it was interesting to see that. And then, of course, I think the more surprising news came this week with Ross Chastain staying inside the Chip Ganassi building, but with Trackhouse, and I think that's going to be an interesting pairing. And that definitely, I'm just surprised how quick these silly season news bullets are coming. It seems like actual dominoes where one happens and then another one happens and then another one happens. It's only a matter of time before we get that Kurt Busch news. And yeah, I think that's kind of been the stuff that's really, I think it's helped with the break as well, because there's been stuff for fans to kind of pay attention to as everything's been on a pause.
All right, Jonathan, what's your big storyline of the past 2 weeks?
Well, I would also say the Keselowski-Roush Fenway deal. I mean, it was the worst kept secret in all of NASCAR, but good to see that be announced. And of course, we know now that Ryan Newman is a free agent as well for next season. Looks like it. Chris Buescher, Brad Keselowski going to be on that team. I think that's going to be a very strong team. You know, having 3 different organizations that have strong driver lineups, and no disrespect to Ryan Newman at all, but having Chris Buescher and having Brad Keselowski together, 2 NASCAR champions on the same team, especially with Keselowski's support, is going to be really good for Roush Fenway. And they've had some success this season. They've done okay, and I think this is really going to elevate their team to that next level and elevate all Ford as well.
Okay. So yeah. Well, Fiel just started his new job down in New Mexico, so he just moved into a new apartment. So they're kind of still trying to figure out all the Wi-Fi. So that's where the technical difficulties are coming from on his end. So my end, from my big storyline takeaway is, you know, just everything that just happened with that and with all the free agent news, because it's coming at us really, really quick. I can't think of a time when all of these silly season announcements are getting made now. Usually we would wait until August, September, right around the time. I mean, it is August, so we're in the first week of August. So typically this is the time when, you know, people start announcing what their plans are for next year. And we already have had some big dominoes fall, and it looks like we're going to be getting some more thing as, you know, drivers looking for new rides, teams looking for charters as the next gen car gets out there. And the big news this week, and it was actually just announced today, that NASCAR is back at Nashville for the Champions Weekend, November 30th through December 2nd in Nashville, of course, taking off last year because of COVID. But it's good to see NASCAR's big commitment to the city of Nashville. So it'll be good to see the connection between NASCAR and every single country music star out there will be probably at that big event. So it'll be good to see at the end of the season. Okay, I know you discussed a lot of the topics. I want to get to the Chastain thing, and then I'll get to some more headlines that actually just broke today. Your thoughts on Ross Chastain going to a Trackhouse? I mean, we all expected it. We talked about this is his ride. This is what he wants. He said, I want this, and he got it, and he's taking over the number 1 car. Kind of weird that the team has the number 1 and the number 99 as well. So the highest number and the lowest number. So it's numerically they're doing pretty good. But overall, Jonathan, well, we'll go to Mitchell first, actually. What kind of the big, what was your initial tip? You weren't surprised by this, were you?
No, I fully expected Ross to be in there. And I think it's kind of just to put the cement in some of these other people's plans. I think we all kind of expect Kurt probably to go to 23 XI racing. I mean, it's not, like you said, it's not a surprise to see Ross Chastain go there, but now you really got to look at guys like Matt Benedetto, Ryan Newman, really wonder what do these guys have up their sleeves, because all of a sudden there's not a lot of room at the end anymore. And you got 2 guys that I would say are pretty decent race car drivers. Ryan Newman, he's been in the championship before, and we've seen Matt Benedetto make the playoffs. He could still make the playoffs this year. I'm really intrigued to see what happens with those guys. And that's kind of the biggest takeaway, is just now that those plans are confirmed, what's going through those 2 guys' heads. I think it wouldn't be surprising to see Ryan Newman maybe step away next year, but with a guy like Matt Benedetto, it's just, there's a lot of questions that are still left to be answered. But like you said, it's just crazy that all this is happening this quick, which is probably a good thing for those guys.
Yeah. What you think down there, Jonathan?
Yeah, I think just with Ross Chastain going over to Trackhouse, we heard that he wasn't one of the top candidates at one point, and then, it was announced that he is going to Trackhouse. And I think that's a good thing that they held on to Chastain, because obviously Chastain has a lot of talent. He's been with the team, been around the CGR, now Trackhouse ecosystem for a while. And just for him to be able to get a solid ride is great, because when he had the CGR number 42, of course, that shut down at the end of 2018, was going to run full time in 19. Other things he's had happen, BKR running for them, that went away. He's cut his teeth, and I think this is well deserved. And I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I think he's going to be someone who really breaks out next year, especially with the next gen car. Him and Daniel Suarez are going to be a really fun team to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, Ross Chastain is one of my favorites in the garage. Always a pleasure talking to him. Got a chance to talk to him a few weeks ago after Atlanta. So good to talk to Ross every time. And it's good to see him get the opportunities that he got, and especially with Trackhouse, and him and Justin Marks have a relationship in that. Okay, a couple headlines that I want to run down pretty quick, and then I want to get to some truck action, because they're in the headlines. And actually, I'm going to start with trucks. It was announced today that Chase Purdy has tested positive for COVID-19. He will be missing this weekend's race at Watkins Glen for the trucks, and he was also scheduled to compete in the ARCA Menard Series. AJ Allmendinger will be in the 23 truck for GMS Racing. Of course, he'll go to the back because of a driver change. So from that, and speaking of COVID, NASCAR has announced that masks are once again required inside all public places. That includes trailers, restrooms, media centers, suites, press box, blah, 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 blah. But masks are also not required outside, but distancing is encouraged. But yeah. So also, Lawless Allen from Nice Motorsports, he'll be running 2 races, one at Darlington and at Phoenix for Nice Motorsports. Good opportunity. I've known Lawless for a long time, so happy to see him get some big opportunities as well. And yeah, it's a quick rundown of the headlines. Lots of stuff, lots of jam-packed stuff today. But this is also quite a big headline for the Truck Series. They're back in for the first time in a month, and it's the last race before the playoffs. And it looks like, from looking at the playoff document down there, it looks like it's kind of set in stone. But there could be some things that happened. I think if I'm Carson Hocevar, I'm in a really good position. In a Chandler Smith, I'm a little bit worried, but if I'm guys like for guys like Johnny Sauter, Tyler Ankrum, Derek Kraus, I might be a little bit worried heading into that race. What's going to be the biggest storyline you think coming into this weekend's truck race? Because it's going to be one to watch. What do you think happens? Who's going to make a desperate move? Are we going to see a surprise winner as well?
That's something I'm really interested in, is because like you get AJ Allmendinger and automatically he becomes the guy that you're going to have to watch to beat. But like you said, this is the last opportunity for a lot of these guys and gals to try and make the playoffs. And I'm really intrigued to see if somebody doesn't. In road courses, you already see a lot of, I wouldn't say crazy, but a lot of pit strategy to try and gain some sort of advantage. And I'm really intrigued to see if somebody maybe steps up to the plate and tries to do something, and if they can execute it. And we talked about the aggressiveness in ARCA. I think you might see some aggressiveness in the truck series for those guys that are right there on the wire that want to make the playoffs. And I mean, you already see that at road course racing in the truck series anyways, where you see usually bumpers and banging come to the checkered flag. So I think it's gonna be a fun one, and it's going to be interesting to see. Will AJ Allmendinger be the spoiler? That's, I think, the biggest question, though.
What do you think, Jonathan?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think just with the truck series, it's great to see the truck series back after it's been over 15 years since the truck series raced at Watkins Glen. Yep, and also, I think, too, with someone like, I think just with that, and then also Johnny Sauter, being on the outside looking in, and knowing the driver that he is talent wise, and also when he gets in a pinch, he goes for it. And I think if you have Johnny Sauter anywhere near the lead at the end of that race, it's going to be fun to watch, especially with where he is in the points on the outside looking in the playoffs, which is very strange to think of with Johnny Sauter, because it was 5 years ago that Sauter went out and won the championship. So I think Johnny Sauter will be one to watch. Like you mentioned, Carson Hocevar, but I think it's just going to be a fun race overall. Great to see the trucks back at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, so a couple things if you're watching there. Stuart Friesen, Carson Hocevar's 8th, Stuart Friesen 9th, and then Chandler Smith running 10th in those standings. So, 61 points, 53, and then 40 points above the cut line. Then you got Derek Kraus, who's 40 points in the bad, and then Tyler Ankrum's 44, Johnny Sauter's 51. But if I'm like, Austin Wayne Self, Ryan Truex, Haley Deegan, Tanner Gray, even Tate Fogelman could possibly go out and win. Chase Purdy was on that list, but obviously he won't be competing in that race. And we also want to say, Chase, if you're watching this, hope you're feeling better, and we'll see you in a few weeks when we go to Gateway or WW2, I should say. So good stuff there. All right. You guys know what time it is. It's time for the picks. Oh boy, we got some fun stuff today. Let's start with trucks, and might as well, I'm going first. Oh boy. Well, it is on a road course, and we've seen guys, do well on road courses. We've seen 2 different winners. We had Ben Rhodes win at the Daytona road course. We had Todd Gillen win at COTA. I think we're going to see another surprise winner, and it's going to be someone that's already won this year. Yes, I am taking Todd Gilliland from Front Row Motorsports. He's going to get it done. That 38 is going to get his 2nd win of the year. All right, Mitchell, you want to go next?
Sure, and I think I'm also, it seems crazy not to pick Allmendinger, but I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to take Kaz Grala. He impressed me at COTA, and I think I'm going to go with him. I think he's bound to get one of these wins, and I'm going to go with Kaz. I think he's going to be a big upset this weekend.
Of course, Kaz Grala in the 02 truck this week for Young's Motorsports. All right, Jonathan Fiel, what you think?
Well, I like both those picks, but I got to go with the obvious one, AJ Allmendinger. I think he gets the job done. It becomes a triple threat winner.
Oh boy, that's a good pick right there. All right, as my glasses continue to fog up, and All right, Xfinity picks. Massive matchup there. All right. Okay, Jonathan, why don't you go first?
Oh, for Xfinity. Well, I think I'm going to go with Austin Cindric. Austin Cindric, AJ Allmendinger had a good battle here when the series raced here last time. I think Cindric just really good on the road courses. He gets it done on Saturday.
All right, Mitchell, what do you think?
I'm going to copy Jonathan. I also think Austin Cindric's going to get the job done. I think he's the guy to beat right now in Xfinity, and I'd be surprised if he didn't end up in victory lane on Saturday.
Jonathan, what do I always say when picking Xfinity?
Oh, I think I know. I think I know.
You got to stick with the Gibbs. I'm going Ty Gibbs. He's getting it done at Watkins. So, gosh. All right. Yeah, I can't pick the same as you. I'm surprised no one took Allmendinger in that race, but we all took him you took him for the truck race. So I'm going to take Ty. It's really going to be between those three: Cindric, AJ Allmendinger, and Ty Gibbs, because that's what it's always been at these road courses heading into each weekend. So yeah, next 2 weeks are going to be on the road courses, so that'll be fun. Okay, Cup Series time. All right, Mitchell, go ahead.
I think we're going to see another upset, and I think we're going to see another guy that was not in the top 16 in points win. And I feel foolish for not taking Chase Elliott, but for some reason, I think Matt DiBenedetto gets the job done this weekend. He really impressed me at Road America. I'm going way out in left field. I'm taking DiBenedetto.
All right. There he is. There's Jonathan. All right. Who do you got? That was oh boy, that was fun. Who are you going to take? Are you going to take someone surprising?
Oh, the pick is still very surprising to me because I did not hear it, but this is not a surprise winner. I think Denny Hamlin's finally going to break through and get the job done.
Okay. By the way, Jonathan, Mitchell picked Matt DiBenedetto. So.
Oh, okay.
All right. I'm going to take Chase Elliott since no one else has taken him. I'm going to take him. He's been the king on road courses. I mean, he's won at COTA. He won at Road America. He's going to win at Watkins Glen. He's won the past 2 years. I'm going to take him. So that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah. Well, guys, it's been fun. It's good to have you back. And first off, Jonathan, of course, started his new job in New Mexico. And congratulations to you, Mitchell. You just recently got engaged. So that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So the good stuff there. A lot of good stuff. Of course, everybody knows what I'm up to and all that. But I got another big announcement coming up at the end of the month. So we're really excited about that. So enjoy the races this weekend at Watkins Glen. I'm Casey Campbell. That's Jonathan Fiel. That's Mitchell Brewer. We will talk to you next week when we go road coursing again at Indianapolis with the Indy cars. So it'll be fun there. All right. We'll talk to you guys next week.